Okay, we're at doing a second call of the day here, and what we're out doing today is we're doing a pre-season furnace tune-up. So we do a 46-point inspection. So we're looking at the humidifier pad right now. Make sure the damper's open. This humidifier pad was replaced in May, right after the season. I replaced it when I did the air conditioning tune-up. So we do not need to replace the humidifier pad. We're out May 27th. That's the last time this filter was replaced. So as you see, it's a little gray, a little dirty. We're going to replace this because I'm not going to be back for 6 months. So we're going to get the new filter in there. Make sure we date our filter. Today is 9/21/15. So get that filter in there. Airflow direction towards the furnace. So we'll just put this door on. And we'll put this humidifier back together. So we do the maintenance here, oh geez, ever since 2010. So I do the maintenance on the air and I do the maintenance on the furnace every year. So and what we'll do is flush our condensate. This one actually is nice and clean, no slime. So I always put tablets in my condensate, keep it nice and clean. I do want to flush this trap out though. So what I'll do is I'll take the door off of the coil and I'll flush it with water. And then this is a Carrier 58 MVC communicating furnace. We got a communicating air outside. This is a 3-stage modulating. Like I said, we've been doing the maintenance on this piece of equipment ever since 2010. So I mean, the thing's 5 years old. It looks brand new. Just a little dusty. So I'm going to get the dust out of it. Check our gas pressure. Check our flame sensor. Check our igniter ohms. See if we're in specification. And check the blower motor, all the connections. And we'll run you through some of that. Make sure my condensate trap is clean. That's kind of a basic troubleshooting. Okay, we flushed out the pump, so there wasn't much slime in the pump. So you can see some few floaties in there. So, and I did add some condensate tablets. These are the tablets I use. They're recommended that you put them in there each season. For air conditioning, they recommend 1 per ton in the tray. So what we'll do is we got this funky little trap here, so we'll just flush that out, making sure that's nice and clean. I'm getting some garbage out of it. Just so when they start up next season, they're starting with a nice clean trap. And then I'll throw my tablets down here, right in the tray. And that's it. So we got this flushed. We got the condensate pump flushed. Now I'm going to have to flush the trap out for the furnace. But let me get everything hooked up. I got to get my gas pressure hooked up, some amp clamps, and then we'll get the unit started up. and this this trap that was bolted to the side of the furnace, it was just easier to take off instead of trying to get the hose apart and flushing through the hose. So we just took it off, and now, as you can see, there's some stuff in that trap, and kind of reverse flush it. See how the garbage come out of the trap? There's even bees in there. Shake it up. Make sure to get all that stuff out of there. Slime and mold. See it all come out. Still coming out. Okay, so we'll bolt this back up here, and we'll get that in there, just like so. Hose and condensate pump, and oh, there's the screw. We'll screw this right there. Get your hoses put back on. The hoses put back on, the condensate flushed and put back into place. Got my tablets in my pump, and I got my tablets in my tray. Most common service call in the middle of winter is a plug condensate trap, and when you're out doing maintenance, number one thing to clean is that trap. Just saves a service call. Okay. Let me get my gas pressure, my manometer hooked up to the manifold. Got to dust this out down here. We got some cobwebs. Lower wheel's nice and clean. So let me do that, and we'll get to starting this thing up. Okay, we're going through startup. I got my manometer hooked up. This is a 3-stage, so this is my first stage throttling valve, and then I got a medium and high. We're going to start out firing in medium stage. Get the heat exchanger warmed up. So we're at 1.54. Normal range on this is, on second stage, is 1.3 to 1.7. I like to keep this furnace right in the middle of that, so 1.5, 1.54 is just fine. Going off a temporize, the medium stage on this furnace would be 50 to 80 degrees. So I've worked on this furnace many times before. I have this thing set up right where I want it to be. So I'm going to leave that alone. Let's look at low stage, because it's going to knock down here to low stage in a second. There it goes. We're at 0.61. The reason why I have it, let's see, what is my, on low stage I can go from 0.52 to 0.65. I like to keep the low stage a little on the high side, so you get more heat on low stage instead of being like lukewarm. At least you get a little more heat at half-inch water column. You don't get much, but you know, compared to it being at 0.5 inches of water column and 0.6 inches, not too much difference, but it's going to run a little warmer, let's say. Now this furnace is a Carrier 58 MVC 060-14, so this is a 3.5 ton drive. This is a DC motor communicating. This also is hooked up to a communicating air conditioner, two-stage communicating air that I did a video on earlier in the year. Anytime you take any kind of gas pressure reading on these older Carrier furnaces, you must have the burner door off. There's the burner door. See, if I put the burner door on, it's going to make it look low, but this should be adjusted when it's atmospheric without the door on. So just keep that in mind. Every time you adjust gas pressure on a Carrier or an enclosed burner, it needs to be adjusted with the door off. So we're going to go through our stages. I'm going to take some amp draws on the blower motor, inducer motor. We're going to see if the humidifier is working right. But I will get right back to you, and I'm going to let this thing run through its cycle. Right now, it is running on the test mode for infinity. You can put this infinity furnace and air conditioner into a test mode. It'll run 5 minutes. 5 minutes stage. Low stage will run 5. Middle stage will run 5, and then high stage will run 5. You can do the same thing for the air conditioner. That's two-stage air, so you can run it, you know, high stage 5 minutes, low stage 5 minutes, and you know, just so you can get your pressures and temperatures. But let me do a few more things here, and I will get back to you. Well, I mean, if you're out for a tune-up, you know, by the time you're done with this thing, it should look, you know, if within reason, if it's installed in the last 5 years, it should look pretty close to new. I mean, if they do maintenance on it, you know, when you come out and do maintenance on a PC equipment, you want to make sure it's clean. You know, the last thing I do is when I finish up my tune-ups, I use some AC Shine. Not for air conditioners, but works great for furnaces. So what I do is get everything back together the way it was, and then right before I leave, shine up the door, shine up the cabinet, shine up the coil, even do the top of the water heater, just so, you know, there is, you know, the customer comes down and looks, oh, you know, shined up my equipment, and that's what a tune-up's supposed to be. So just keep that in mind when you're doing you know, tune-ups on equipment, that you want to make sure, you know, when you're done, it looks better than when you started. I like the AC Shine because it puts a nice protective coat on the, you know, any plastic or any metal. And if it's down in, say, a damp basement, you know, it's steel, it's raw steel. The bottom of this thing is raw steel. I mean, it's galvanized, but there's still a chance of rust and corrosion. So by using the AC Shine, you protect the finish on the furnace. On the air conditioners, I use automotive wax, paste wax, and it works really good. It gives a good year of protection. And also, I think I'm going to put the AC cover on today too. So that's if the customer wants it. Because it's still we're still having days where it's hot and cold, so you might not want to put it on just yet. So this is just kind of a, you know, early season tune-up on a Carrier 58 MVC. Just kind of running you through what you should do on any tune-up that you do. So like I said, this one is it's Carrier ICS. This is their Infinity series. This is the old style 58 series furnace, and this is 3-stage. They call it modulating, but I call it 3-stage. Variable speed fan, variable speed inducer motor, 3-stage gas valve, well, 2-stage gas valve with throttling valve. So let me get this thing, and all you do with this AC Shine is just spray light coat on, and you kind of buff it off, just like wax. Really can't tell on the camera that it shines, but it does. It comes out really nice. Okay, that's it for this one. Like and subscribe. Thanks, guys.